We've reviewed quite a few e-bikes over the years, but today we're checking out something a little different. Instead of a complete electric bike, this is the Livall Pikaboost 2 Lite, an e-bike conversion kit that can transform your existing bicycle into a pedal assist e-bike. Now, we actually reviewed the original Pikaboost 2 a while back, so today we're taking a look at the newer Lite version to see what's changed, what it's like to install, and of course, how it performs in the real world. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Since this was shipped to us, the box has quite a few shipping stickers all over it, but even with that, the packaging feels really sturdy. Right here on the front, it also mentions that the Pikaboost 2 Lite received a CES Innovation Award 2025, which is always nice to see. The box also lists a few key features. According to Livall, it offers a maximum assisted range of around 50 to 70 kilometers, depending on how you're riding. It also features built-in slip detection, which automatically cuts motor power if the drive wheel starts spinning excessively. That's a nice safety feature to have. Other than that, there's not a whole lot printed on the outside. We do have the usual warning label over here mentioning certain chemicals and related safety information. All right, let's open it up and see what comes inside. Right away, we're greeted with a large piece of protective foam covering everything. Underneath that, everything is packed pretty neatly into separate compartments. Looks like we've got a few smaller accessories tucked away over here, but before we get to those, let's take a look at the paperwork. Here's the user manual. Now, let's be honest, most people probably aren't going to read the entire thing, but in this case, it's actually worth flipping through before you start the installation. It covers the complete installation process, calibration, setup checks, and pretty much everything you'll need to know before mounting it onto your bike. So if this is your first time installing a conversion kit like this, we'd definitely recommend giving it a quick read first. There's also the warranty booklet included, along with a QR code for additional information. We'll set all of that aside for now. Next up, let's check out the accessories. First, we have the charging cable. One thing we immediately noticed is that it's actually a decent length, which is always appreciated. And thankfully, Livall went with a USB-C to USB-C connection, so charging should be nice and convenient. Next, we've got the mudguard. We'll install this a little later during the setup process. There's also a screwdriver included in the box, along with the mounting bracket and the rest of the installation hardware. We'll go through each of these once we start installing everything onto the bike, so don't worry if they don't make much sense just yet. All right, now it's time for the main unit itself. This thing is actually a little bigger than we expected. When you're taking it out of the box, it's easier if you lift the tire side first while supporting the rest of the unit with your other hand. There we go. The first thing that stands out is how solid it feels. It's definitely not lightweight, but honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The construction feels sturdy, and that gives us a bit more confidence that it'll hold up well over time, especially if you're riding on rougher roads. You might notice it's already a little dirty. That's simply because we've already spent some time riding it before filming this unboxing. We'll show you exactly how it performs once we get outside later in the video. Right away, you can see the mounting hardware on the back. And one thing you'll definitely notice when you pick it up, it's got some weight to it. Not crazy heavy, but it's definitely solid. Let's just say you're not going to mistake this for a cheap plastic accessory. Around the back, we've got the integrated rear light, which we'll check out in just a minute. Over here is the charging section, and right beside it is the power button. The button has a nice tactile click to it, which always feels more satisfying than those mushy buttons you find on some gadgets. As for the overall design, we actually like it. The large Pikaboost branding in the middle looks clean, and the orange accents give it a little personality without making it look too flashy. Around the outside, this entire roller is covered in rubber, since this is the part that makes contact with your bike tire. The surrounding housing is mostly plastic, but there are a few metallic-looking accents that give it a more premium appearance. Overall, the fit and finish are really nice. Nothing feels loose or cheap. Now, let's take a look at the battery. The battery sits right inside the unit, and removing it is really simple. Just press the release, and it slides right out. Nice. Here's a closer look at the battery itself. You can see the locking mechanism right here, along with the connector that slides back into the main unit. If we open this little rubber cover, you'll find the USB-C charging port inside. So if you want, you can remove the battery and charge it separately. There's also a built-in battery indicator. Just press the button once. Looks like we've got 2 bars remaining, so it isn't fully charged at the moment. The specifications are printed right here on the side. This battery has a capacity of 158 watt-hours, and you'll also find the rated capacity, input and output ratings, along with the rest of the technical information printed here. Of course, we've also got the Livall branding on the side. The battery itself actually looks pretty nice. Now, let's slide it back into the unit. Just line it up, push it in. There it goes. Locks right into place. Simple as that. Overall, we have to say the build quality feels impressive. Everything fits together nicely, nothing rattles around, and it definitely gives off a premium feel. There really isn't much else to show around the outside, so let's power it on. The power button is right here. Go ahead and press it. There we go. Now it's powered up. If we press the button again, we can cycle through the different rear light modes. The first one is your standard steady light, which should work well for riding after dark. Press it again. Now we get the flashing mode. This is definitely the one we'd use if we're riding at night or in lower visibility conditions, since it makes you much easier to spot from behind. The light is surprisingly bright for something integrated into the conversion kit. Up here, you'll also notice the battery indicator lights. So, between the button and the indicator lights, you can check everything directly from the unit itself. Of course, if you'd rather use your phone, you can also adjust these settings through the Livall app. Now, let's set this down for a second. There's one more thing we want to show you before installing it. If we double press the power button, you'll notice the mechanism starts moving. Right now, it's trying to calibrate itself. Since we haven't mounted it on the bike yet, it doesn't really know where the tire is, so this movement is completely normal. You can actually see the mechanism changing its position as it calibrates. We'll show you how this works once it's installed, because it'll make a lot more sense then. Before mounting the main unit though, let's install the mudguard first. It takes a little extra time during the initial setup, but once it's on, you won't have to think about it again. Go ahead and line everything up. Now install the 4 bolts. Once everything is tightened down, the mudguard feels nice and secure. More importantly, it'll help keep water, mud, and dirt from being thrown upward while you're riding. So if you get caught in a little rain or ride through wet roads, it'll definitely come in handy. Alright, with that done, it's finally time to mount the Pikaboost onto the bike. First up is the mounting bracket. We're just going to loosely install it for now. Don't tighten everything down completely just yet, because we'll still need a little room to make some adjustments. Start by attaching one side first, then move over to the other side. Just snug the bolts enough that the bracket stays in place while still allowing a little movement. That's exactly what we want at this stage. Now we'll position the mount where it needs to sit. Once we're happy with the alignment, we can gradually tighten everything down. The important thing here is not to crank one bolt down all the way before the others. Instead, tighten them evenly a little at a time. That keeps everything centered and makes the final alignment much easier. Right now, the bracket is secure, but we can still make small adjustments if we need to. And that's exactly where we want it before installing the main unit. Now that the bracket is installed, it's time to attach the Pikaboost itself. Installing the main unit by yourself is definitely possible, although having an extra pair of hands certainly wouldn't hurt. We'll hook one side in first, give it a little push. There we go. Now it's seated properly. At this point, the unit stays in place on its own and we can start locking everything down. We'll tighten this section here first. The spring mechanism sits on this side, so we'll make sure everything is lined up correctly before fully tightening the bolts. Next, we'll secure this section right here. One thing you don't want to do is completely tighten one bolt before the others. Just like installing a car wheel, it's always better to tighten everything evenly. That keeps the alignment centered and prevents unnecessary stress on the mount. Now, everything is sitting perfectly centered. We'll finish tightening the remaining bolts, and that's looking nice and solid. One quick way to verify the installation is by checking the rear wheel. If the wheel lifts like this, the fitment is correct. If it doesn't, you'll probably need to readjust the mounting position before moving on. At the moment, you can still see a tiny bit of clearance here. That's completely normal. The system will actually take care of that automatically during calibration. So now let's power it on. Press and hold the power button. There we go. Now we're ready to calibrate it. We'll simply press the button twice. As soon as calibration starts, you'll notice the mechanism begins adjusting itself automatically. The unit slowly moves upward, the gap gradually disappears, and it positions itself exactly where it needs to be. That's one thing we really like about this system. Instead of spending time making tiny manual adjustments, the calibration process handles the final positioning for you. Once it's finished, everything sits firmly against the tire with the correct amount of pressure. Now let's spin the wheel. As you can see, it's fully engaged. Everything is locked into place. The wheel turns smoothly, and we're finally ready for the part we've been waiting for. All right, the installation is complete. Now let's take it outside and see how it actually rides. The very first thing we noticed is how natural the assistance feels. Instead of suddenly pushing the bike forward, the power builds up gradually as you start pedaling. It doesn't feel like the motor is taking over. It almost feels like you've suddenly developed much stronger legs. You're still doing the pedaling, but every pedal stroke feels much more efficient. After riding it for a few minutes, it becomes surprisingly easy to forget that there's even a motor helping you. Now, we also spent some time switching between the two available riding modes. Standard mode definitely feels like the one most people will probably end up using every day. The assistance is smooth, predictable, and very easy to control. Whether you're commuting through town or just riding around the neighborhood, it feels balanced without being overwhelming. Then there's powerful mode, and yes, you immediately notice the difference. The motor delivers much stronger assistance, and there are moments where it almost feels like the bike is doing most of the work for you. It's definitely fun, but for everyday riding, we actually found ourselves preferring standard mode. The stronger acceleration in powerful mode can feel a little aggressive on rough roads, and naturally, it also uses more battery. For daily commuting, standard mode simply offers the better balance between performance, efficiency, and overall control. Riding through city streets is where the difference becomes really obvious. Pulling away from traffic lights requires much less effort. Keeping up with traffic feels easier, and maintaining a comfortable cruising speed doesn't leave you feeling exhausted after every ride. During our testing, we saw speeds of around 15 miles per hour, which honestly feels more than fast enough for normal commuting. As for battery life, Livall claims a range of up to around 50 kilometers with pedal assist, and based on our riding, that number feels quite realistic under normal riding conditions. We also wanted to see how it handles hills, nothing too extreme, just a few moderate inclines that would normally require noticeably more effort on a regular bicycle. And this is where the motor really starts proving its value. Instead of slowing down and standing up on the pedals, the system smoothly adds extra assistance exactly when you need it. The climb still feels natural, you're still pedaling, but it takes far less effort to maintain your speed. Livall's AAR 2.0 algorithm deserves a lot of credit here because the assistance constantly adjusts based on how you're riding. Rather than feeling like an on and off motor, it responds smoothly to your pedaling input, making the entire experience feel much more refined. The 500 series motor also delivers power very consistently. Whenever you need that little extra boost, it's ready without feeling abrupt or jerky. We also wanted to test some of the built-in safety features while we were out riding. One feature we were especially curious about was the slip detection system. If the bike tilts beyond around 30 degrees, the motor automatically cuts power. During our testing, it worked exactly as advertised. The system also monitors when you're braking, shifting gears, or changing your riding behavior, helping keep the assistance smooth and predictable throughout the ride. On top of that, there are a few smaller details that really complete the package. The V-shaped drive tire provides good grip against the bicycle wheel. The integrated rear LED light makes you much easier to see during night rides. And with its IPX5 water resistance, you don't have to panic if you get caught in light rain on the way home. Overall, after spending some time with the Livall Pikaboost 2 Lite, it really feels like a well-rounded conversion kit. It doesn't try to completely transform your bicycle into a motorcycle. Instead, it simply makes cycling easier. Your rides become less tiring, climbs become much more manageable, and longer commutes suddenly feel a lot more enjoyable while still keeping the natural feel of riding a bicycle. So, after spending some time with the Livall Pikaboost 2 Lite, we honestly think it's a really interesting option for anyone who wants the benefits of an e-bike without actually replacing the bike they already own. The installation takes a little patience the first time around, but once everything is set up, the overall experience is surprisingly seamless. The motor assistance feels natural, the removable battery is convenient, and features like slip detection, automatic calibration, and the integrated rear light make the whole system feel much more refined than we expected. What we like the most is that it doesn't completely change the riding experience. You're still riding your own bicycle. It just makes every ride a little easier, whether you're commuting to work, climbing hills, or simply covering longer distances without getting completely worn out. If you already have a bike you enjoy riding and you've been thinking about converting it into an e-bike, this is definitely a kit worth checking out. So that's pretty much it for today's video. As always, let us know down in the comments what you think about the Pikaboost 2 Lite, and if you have any questions, we'll do our best to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming reviews. Thanks for watching. Peace.